I will start right away. I'm sorry. But the Rashi Bavor is not over here. I think, but Parshas Emor, that's where the parsha of the Shemin is, and this is Rashi's Loshen over there. It's right at the end of the last. It's the last mitzvah. The last page. It's if the Shvi already. If the Shvi, yes, Mam Shvi. Zavis Bnei Yisrael. So Rashi says here. So Zu Parshas Mitzvahs Hanevis. This is the parsha, and why is it mentioned in Parshas Tetzaveh? Because it went to feed the Seder of the Mishkan. Now, the Seder, the Mishkan, I don't know if you're up to the thing. You didn't finish with the Big Tikkun first. I don't know exactly what, because this is not a building thing. This has nothing to do, so why are you talking about this now? That I can't answer you. But Rashi says that's the reason. And the reason, I guess, that you find the Mishkan separate here, because this is a Shaila altogether. When did the Rebbein Shem decide to make the Mishkan? Did he make the Mishkan Dafki after the Chet Hegel? Or did he make what he always had in plans to make the Mishkan? So the way the Torah writes it, he writes it in Mishkan before the Hegel, to tell us that I had a plan to always give you a Mishkan. And the thing of it, why I wasn't up to it yet, whatever reason is, but I always had a plan to give you a Mishkan. It has nothing to do with the Hegel, except that it serves the kapara for the Hegel too. But it doesn't, not the necessary. But again, it still doesn't answer the shaila, why is he doing the Shemin now, right away. So I think the reason is because the beginning of Bishalach, it says over there, why? Because Pensharem Mechama, Siksikre Mechama, Aviyah Mechama, whatever it is there, and they'll go back to Mitzrayim, right? That's the lesson he uses over there. That he's going to go back to Mitzrayim. The question, why? Because why would they go back to Mitzrayim? So I find over there, because there wouldn't be a war. In other words, they come to face Eretz Plishtim, and there's a war that wouldn't scare them. They were ready for war. The Chamushim or the Mitzrayim, they at least the bravado they had. They're pretending we have arms and stuff like that. We're ready for war. They fought with Amalek a few weeks later, and it didn't scare them. They go there, so you say Amalek maybe is a small nation, Mitzrayim is a big nation. I mean, the Plishtim, big nation. They can't be that much. Well, they could be that much bigger but they're five different sections, so each one is probably smaller. I don't know. I can't answer you. I can't answer how it worked with the Plishtim. They actually one federation, United States. Like in other words, because they didn't have a melech, they didn't have a president. They had each one had a governor. When you had the five Sani Plishtim, but you didn't have. So I don't know exactly how it worked, but I signed it that they wouldn't see a war. In other words, they expected a war, and they come and Plishtim came out with their arm, and we said we can't attack because Afram swore to Avimelech that we're not going to attack it. Therefore, we have to go back. So they have to go back. That is going to scare them. In other words, this is a Baba Maisa. He can't do it because he's afraid of them. That's the thing. He does it later by Edom, and you don't see that had an effect over there. For this, it had an effect because they were safe, so were tired already. But didn't have because they didn't trust that he can do it. That's because they lived 40 years in the Midbar, and they saw all the Nisim that happened in the Midbar. Here they're just starting out. They're starting out as far as they're concerned. So therefore, you're not allowed to make a suffix into people. That if you can't take the suffix away, don't make the suffix. So this has to do with Torah, because Torah is the biggest thing. In order to make it interesting, you got to make it into big kasha. And to make it into big kasha, my teretz may not take away the kasha. So the Rosh Hashanah told me, when you want me in there, don't make the kasha too strong, because you may not be able to get rid of it. In other words, they may not like your answer. And they'll think that's the teretz for that kasha, the kasha is something. So that wasn't really what he was promising. Sometimes you have a whopper kasha, you understand the teretz is not going to be so good. So you explain, I haven't got a better teretz, what am I going to do? But sometimes I have no kasha. He was against this in a way. But the Rebbeim do this. And he says, the house, the kasha? No, I don't hear it. Give him the house, the kasha? And 5 times over until the kid says, yeah, I hear it. Okay, so now I got the kasha. It's a starke kasha, the Rebbe is thing there, and then he gives the teretz. That teretz for such a kasha, that's not a teretz. So why did you make the problem? You made the problem. The kid had no problem. He understood it good the first time. Of us, whatever it is there, he didn't have a case of kasha. But you made it into a kasha. And now we haven't got a teretz. Now you screwed him up. That's what the Shiva told me. And that's what he is. I say if that's the case, when it comes to Torah, we just got the Torah. So he says to the Benish, who's going to teach the Torah? You're always going to have good kashas and stuff. And who's going to take away the kashas? Who's going to weigh out and present it? Now, Taka, what do you do if you have such a great kasha? What do you do? I mean, you're not going to not teach it if you have a great kasha. Right? You want to show the person the great kasha, but I don't have a good teretz. Right? So I hide the kasha. Yeah. How do you do that? Sometimes you have an answer by this. You'll say, I have a good teretz that's working out in this year. And this teretz could be metaretz, this and this kasha, right? I don't dwell on the kasha. I just go, the guy doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Either he'll have a kasha, he won't have a kasha. But the Rebbe told me the teretz or metaretz the kasha, so I don't have a kasha in the first place. That's all I know. How it's metaretz, I don't even think about it. So that's the place. Who's going to play games with us? He says, so that's Aaron. Aaron is the guy that's going to be Tamecha v'Yirecha v'Yishchasidecha, that he was going to be the Mechanech of Klal Yisrael, even if he wasn't Kohen Gadol. And that's the point. The first 2 psukim are mentioned that he will light the menorah, even though he's not Kohen Gadol. He's not a Kohen. The Chayrim was still a Kohen. And he still will get to light the menorah, because that's the menorah was given first. So again, if that's the case, it's a very strange thing. That means obviously it's before the Yechet Egel. That's what I'm saying. Now the third pasuk. That's when he made him Kohen Gadol. So somehow all of this takes place before and after the Yechet Egel, I guess. So I guess the mitzvah of the Lukas and Neighbors wasn't sure. How do you had it before if there was no mitzvah of Birkin HaBeshkon? I can't answer you all these questions. I don't know. But Lamaisa, somehow that there was the Indian of the building of Beis HaMikdash, and he also, and because of that, he had the problem, even though he's not the Kohen Gadol, he's not the Kohen yet. Okay. Because the truth is, right by the Egel, it's hard to say that he took Aaron ready for the Kohen Gadol. You know what I mean? He definitely did it at some point along the way, but he was angry at Aaron, yet stuff like that. But yet he made him Kohen Gadol. When Nadav Avi was still alive. I mean, Nadav Avi was still alive, but here, and the thing over there, and he dies. And even though in Parshas Eikev, it says that he became very angry at Aharon, and I was mispalel by Aharon, and Rashi points out that it helped for half. 2 of his kids died, and 2 of his kids remained alive, and that's after he was going Gadol, because they were going Gadol first. They died by the Isaac. So I mean, exactly the order and how it came out, I don't know exactly, but you see that there was somehow this idea of a Mishkan before, or at least mixed up in it, that there's going to be some kind of a thing that there's going to be a Kohen Gadol. Okay, and he should make him begodim l'chaved l'seforos. So that's the only reason we're begodim. What are the begodim? Basically, a pair of pants, a shirt, a belt, and a hat. Right? What are the extra begodim here? Nothing extra. So what do you mean? The cover is seforos. So I have to make him bake his thing. You're telling me, make him the begodim he needs. By the way, get a good tailor. Make him good. Make him nice. Right? I'm thinking, but it's the regular pants I need. So the Rashiva learned pshat that no, begodim is only, he needs it's only the chaver the seforos. The only, like clothes makes the man, whatever it is. It covers up the blemishes of the body, so it's covered with nice covers and stuff there. So that's what the cover is here. So meaning that I don't need clothes, because the Rashiva learned by the Adam Rishon, the Chet, it says over there that when he asked Adam why was he hiding, he said he was naked. Right? So Rashi says naked for mitzvahs. He says Oram mitzvahs. I had one mitzvah and I messed it up. So therefore it was all my mitzvahs. So meaning that if a guy has no averos, everything is done l'shem shemayim, right? There's no reason to wear clothes. The only reason we wear clothes is because I have a taiva for somebody else. It's not avera. So therefore, you have to cover it up. What happened if it's like I only have my wife? That's it, and they're saying then there's no taiva for another person. So hey, is there any problem with eating in public, right? You eat in public, right? Not everybody eats as nice as the other guy, right? But you still eat in public. I'm not ashamed of it. Now, there's certain things that Talmud Chacham tak, you shouldn't eat in front of Amoritz, because it depends how he eats, because the Amoritz can make fun of him. But as far as the regular person, he's not embarrassed to have to eat. And even the Talmud Chacham is not embarrassed, he has to eat. That's normal. I have to eat with the shayla. So if I have to eat, I have to do this. I have children. It has nothing to do with any bizoyin here. Elavos, there's no aveira in fact. So therefore, that madrega the kohen has to be at when he does aveira, the Beis Hamikdash. He has to be like the other Rishim kohen machet, and therefore the only reason he's wearing clothes is covered with the seforos. Now, I was asked, remember many years ago, that it says here, it counts the things, and the pants is given just before Revi. We also lehem yichnas sevad. So mashma, you see pants, you need it, right? Maybe the jacket, the hat, and the belt, maybe we make fancy. But the pants, you need it, and that's the ikapot that causes the alpha. I said, no, that's not what the Gemara learns. The Gemara learns that why is the pants separate? To teach you that each one of the big dikuon is mechapa. And that's mechapa farais. How do you know it's mechapa? You need it for a pair of pants. And of course, I took it separate and kept it away from the regular begodim they're making, to know that you don't need it for that. I need it because it's mechapa. So I don't need it as a beged. I need it because it's mechapa. So that's a different thing. Shailas v'heimikus azov v'satrelis, who took it? So you got all this stuff there in the now Shalom, who took it? Aaron took it, or the Oisei Malocha. It's hard to say the Oisei Malocha because by the Oisei Malocha it says in Vayakil that they took it, so they don't have to say it twice that they took it. So it came out that maybe they had to pick, since the Sechavit was Sepharis, so maybe each one had a different Asokim as covered as far as I don't know exactly why you would say it, but if they're taking it, you have 5 people taking it, and each one's going to pick out the stuff that's going to go into their begodim, because the stuff is really for the Mishkan. It's not only for their begodim, but they're getting like the leftovers. Maybe they don't get the maybe they get the first part of the thing, and that's the part that they get. And maybe that's the point there. And the reasons you'll say, but maybe the Mishkan is more important than them and stuff like that, whatever it is there. So that we said originally, when in Parshas Truma, I think we said it last week, that it says over here by in Truma, it mentions this. What should you do? You build me you build me a Mishkan, right? That's what he says. There's 2 things that are definitely not involved with the Mishkan. That's the Avnei Shayim, Avnei Miluyim. So why they mention it in the thing if you're building only a Mishkan? It's Avi for the big Kahuna. So when he say I'm also making big Kahuna, doesn't say because without the Beis HaMikdash, without a Kohen Gadol, there's no Beis HaMikdash. In other words, the same goes, yeshiva, without, there's an Indian of the Rosh yeshiva, whatever it is, that is the yeshiva. In other words, there is no such thing. So that's what the Beinishon is telling him. In other words, that it's one, you're giving off ideas. The building is not a building for as a stone building. That's not the point, the purpose of the building. The building is how to get the Ruchni, it's the Klal Yisrael in there. So the Ruchni requires somebody to explain how you get it and what you're getting, what we're looking for and everything else. And that's the Kohen Gadol. So without the Kohen Gadol, there is no really Beis HaMikdash. So that's what teaches that point. It makes an Ephraid. Let's see what he says over here. Yeah, he mentions the names of the Shvatim. The Shvatim, but not the Shvatim. It's not naming the Shvatim. It's not true. I just said the wrong thing. He's naming the children of Bnei Yisrael. He's not mentioning Efraim and Asher. So he's not mentioning the Shvatim. He's mentioning the children of Yisrael, which means Yosef and Levi come into the picture. And that's the thing over there. That's where you want them. So what's the point that you're pushing here? You're pushing Yosef. Pushing maybe Yosef more than Levi, because Levi is so Kaddish, he's obviously, Gehanim and Levi and everyone's from him. So it's always aware of it. But that Yosef was forgiven, and that he's Ohov Lamokim, and stuff like that you don't see. The Rebbe says, no, I want Yosef's name there. I don't want Efraim and Asher's name there. To show that he still loves Yosef and stuff like that. Okay. And these were big stones. I have to write name. I can't make my mashit how many carats you were talking about, but I don't know, because one of them is a diamond also. So I mean, you talk about size being a nice sized diamond. It has to be thick enough to be able to scroll the name without breaking it and stuff like that. Though that has to be pretty thick, at least that the name should be engraved in there. So it's talking about Okay, Shake says name ladies, that's how he did it. Okay. Timon, the only Timon, okay. Yeah. You have to make a tzitz. Okay, the tzitz is the something, it looked like a tiara probably, and whether it fit, that stuck tight on the head or not, that I don't know. But it was like it went across the whole head. And it is Tzaddik Lashem, it's basically 2 words to put in the, you have to Kodesh Lashem, and so it needs a nice size area anyway. Yeah. And the Kahn wore the tzitz and tefillin at the same time. So from there we learn that yesh mokim for 2 pairs of tefillin. So if you see the way the Svardim Chachamim wear their tefillin, they have it tied together, the 2 of them, one with the Tzuya, the Benetam and Rashi, and they put them down. They have very small tefillin that they fit into the 4 boys that you have. Now that's not such a posh desire. That's why it's a question getting small tefillin. We unfortunately, it's very hard to get small tefillin because to make small tefillin, you got to have to write Parshas that are small, and that's harder. To make the tefillin, you can make them small, I think. But to write the Parshas, that depends on the Sefer. If they're not writing the Parshas, then we ain't going to have no tefillin. And most Sefer do not know how to write small Parshas. Because I remember, I have small tefillin, brother. I had with the Shiur, the Rosh Hashiva's thing, which comes out to 1.75 or 1.77 really, of an inch. Which was with matura and the mabata, everything in that size, because you have to have 2 of them. So therefore, one has to fit completely into Mokum Tefillin, put on the next one in there, that should also fit in there. So maybe the mabata don't have to fit of the second pair, but the first pair surely has to fit. So therefore, you have to have a small pair of tefillin, and that is small. And you can make them just as perfect. But to write the Parshas, like I was saying, at that time, people were, you ever see the Altic Peidish tefillin that people have like this, right? 4 boys, mamish, probably even bigger than 4 boys. So the Pastel tefillin probably to start with. I'm not getting involved in that part. But the mice, they were big whoppers, and they took more than the Mokum Reish, more than the Mokum Yam. You buy pair tefillin for the kids. I see them, they come here all the time. And you tell them to put on the tefillin, and it takes off half the head, but the arm for sure takes up the whole thing. You can't even keep it on the thing. They don't know what they would get them a pair of tefillin that's made for them. I accept it, but you see the Ratzuyas they give them. So I said they plan on to be a 7-footer. So if you plan to be a 7-footer, so we give you a bigger pair of tefillin too. It's going to be for a whole lifetime. Not only going to be a little shrimp, but like about mitzvah. Yeah, I can't. Otherwise, so what am I going to tell you what pshat is? I don't know. About they make it big, but the ridiculous is make them small. Why? Why do you have to make them small? Because it's not so pushy that there's one place for 2 pair tefillin. It could be a place for 2 pair tefillin, each one having its own place. And therefore, it's that one taking up both places maybe is not good enough. Not yet that's such a thing. But anyway, but that's what we say, and most people have such tefillin, a big thing. Okay. Now, the question is, how do you make the tefillin? So you have the machlekes, the Rosh and the Rambam, that the Rosh holds that we have, it's from the hairline until with the kids, the brain, if the first year it's not solid yet, it first hardens because how does a baby come out? The baby comes out that there's room for the head. The head is the biggest part, and the head squeezes into itself and passes over, and therefore that's what you get. And then when it goes apart, it has to grow together to become solid bone. And that takes about a year's time. And this thing does. So you can see when the kid's breathing or something, you can watch a little baby, you'll see the head over here moves up and down like, something like that. So that's the soft part of the baby's head. So and that's for its voice. That's the way the Rosh learns. The Rambam says it has to be where the hair starts. Shehu, that is the mokim where the baby's heart is. So exactly, it doesn't seem to be about whatever pshat is the means when he means that, but he says it's one mokum. And the Beis Yosef says it in two places. He says it in the Kesef Mishnah, and he says it in the Beis Yosef. That therefore you got to say, how did he wear tefillin? They wear it side by side. So that's how you wear the tefillin. Yesh mokum for two pair of tefillin. It's not one behind the other, it's one side by side. So this whole picture of taking to the mirror and going to see if I've got the head is not according to Rambam, that's for sure. That's definitely not in the place where the tefillin is. So I'm going to, but we're going to see past like the Rosh, okay? So whatever you want to say, but it's not the Rambam. But what do you mean Shnei Tefillin according to the Rambam? Because this went the course. So we said in the book, I don't know the answer. So I'm saying it now too. I still don't know the answer. Thought about it, and I still don't know the answer. Because the tzitz is, of course, the whole height. They can't be side by side. So it's going to be one behind the other, and going to the Rosh, it's going to the Beis Yosef. It's not behind the other one. I don't know. You said we talked about the pants. That here is the pants. Okay. Then he told him he wants him to take a par and 2 elim. Now, normally, I don't know really about the behemoths are always connected the others. That's brought down by the Kabbanis. Parshas Pinchas, it starts going, it says the powers, can I get Avram? Even when it's 2 parim, it's can I get Avram? We go through that over there, that there's two facets to chesed. One's the guy getting it, and one's how you give it. And the thing goes. And then there is the Eilim Keneged Yitzchak, right? And the Kvasim Keneged Yaakov. So first of all, we notice there's no kevis involved. They only have a par and 2 Eilim. So the mashma that they only have that thing, there's no kevis, is because kevis represents the Gashmi, whatever it is, that's Yaakov, so Yaakov, that he's Mekadosh the Gashmi. A Kohen, as we said before, he wears the begodim, Adam Rishon Kohen Machet, there is no Gashmi. So everything is Hashem Shemayim, everything is eaten, whatever it is, there's no Gashmi. So he doesn't fit at all in the Avodah. That's going to be put someone in. But we do need what he called. So he takes the par, he takes 1 par, not 2 parim. He says because the Ikazach is, I guess, maybe because he's doing Avodah for Klal Yisrael. Shoshana, Yom Kippur, and Shmini Atzeres all have 1 par. Pesach and Sukkot, Pesach and Shavuos have 2 par, and Rosh Chodesh have 2 parim. Sukkot has a par for every nation. So you have starts with 13, 12, 10, whatever, you'll have 7 in the end. But it has nothing to do with this cheshbon of Keneged Chesed and stuff like that. So there are 2 parts to Chesed, like I said. One is the Arman gets something, right? But that's not really enough. the guy's got to feel that he's not taking charity. That's also an important thing. In other words, it's how you gave it tzedakah. How you gave him, you make him want to feel good. Like in other words, the whole ma'aseh that you have in Vayera is how Avram went and calls them the titles he calls them, and he gives each one a different power in order to show him what he wants to give him, and he wants to mechabit him, and that's the. So there's an inyan of making a person feel good when you give him stock. It's not a point of you're an honored guest. You're not a schnorrer. That's very important in Chesed. So that's two. About the ma'aseh, if we want to, on Yom Hadin, we only have one. Why? Because in Yom Hadin, we trying to say, Rebbeinu Shem, what do you want from us, really? One is to make sure that the poor guy lived. He had something to eat. He got it. So just don't tell us how we did it. Maybe we didn't do this good as we should have done it. But the ma'aseh, the guy got it. So maybe we're asking you for credit for that. Okay, so maybe same thing. You can ask the soil. Not everyone has the right kavanas, the right what he calls it. So normally we're aiming for that, but you can't say that the coin's arbit should be only for those people. It's got to be for everybody. About the Eilim are really two. Really, the only time we have it in Yom Tovim is Sukkot. And it could be because Sukkot we comes right after Yom Niroyim, and therefore because it comes right after Yom Niroyim, we're the highest madrika we can get at, and therefore there's an Isach Hamayim as opposed to any other time where it's only Isach of Yayin. Yayin is we're trying to make, or it is, the Tetzaveh pleasurable to us. So the nisuch of things, the ruchni, should be always pleasurable. And it should be like that. On Sukkot, it's life itself. Now it's bayim, it's not chayim. We have wine, but it's not wine, it's life. Without Torah, we have no life. So therefore, may be separate, symbolized with water. Okay, so on that we discuss every type of I guess, Mesilas Nefesh, the Sheikh. In the Akedah, there's really two Akedahs that took place. There's Akedas Yitzchak, which we all know, and that says, Tiskelon Akedas Yitzchak ben Avram. In other words, the idea is that he was Mesilas Nefesh, or he had Avas Hashem, whatever you want to say. I don't know exactly what point we have. He had both of them, Yitzchak. The Sheikh is what is our symbolization? Avas Hashem or more Yira, or more, or just whatever it is there. Either one is a fantastic thing, but we didn't forget about Avram Avinu. It's very nice to give up your life. It's a good thing. And it's a grace of Madrege, not knocking it. And it's a big important thing. But Avram gave up his reputation. What did he do? He's taking Yitzchak to be makir from the korban, right? It's human sacrifice. All the years he's been crying, there's no such thing as human sacrifice. The Rebbeinu doesn't want human sacrifice. And now he's taking his son to be makir of him. You're a liar. Everything you said till now is sheker. That means you put a lie to everything you've been preaching. That's a thing that you're going to die in bushe, that you have nothing, you prove wrong. That's a thing and he still did it. In other words, Rebbeinu Shalom, I don't know the questions, I don't know, I'm not asking the questions. I just know it's not a contradiction. How it's going to happen, that's your problem, not mine. And Takya was, because Rebbeinu Shalom, I never told you to be marked to cut him, I told you to just put him on a mizbeach. Whatever it is, explained all in our show, all those things. So that's the korbanos, why it's the two of them is the Kohen Gadol has to have both of them, or the Kohen has to have both of these ideas in himself, the Mesilas Nefesh or Avos Hashem, plus the fact that he's willing to give up reputation too. Sometimes a guy bushes a bigger bezoyan than dying. Dying, I'm willing to die. But bushe, I can't take. And in a way, we can see it there by, I don't know if this is a real pshat or not, but we is in the Gemara talking about, it says the Kol Malamed Bitik, Gemara is he the Tiflis. What Indian is talking about? It's talking about over there, where the dinners that a woman that's a tzayta, so if she drinks the mayim mamorim, she'll die, right? But if she's tzidkonius, it could take her years to die. Something a lot of times, what holds a person in from doing the chet is the have tzidkonius. And if she'll die by drinking this, she says, I can't do the chet, because then my whole life will come out to say I was a shikse. And I'm not, I'm a tzidkonius. I had a Zachor for one avera, and the stuff like that, and they're going to pass off everything I did about it. I can't do that. I can't do that, will keep me safe, but it's no one's going to know. Why? Because you're going to live for a couple of years. So no one's going to know that you were a saita. So if that's the case, I don't mind doing it. Because I'm going to die. You die for a lot of things. And that's like that. The time is that big. So that could be the time. And then it seems that the outside comes out really next week with my father. She was at Tzal. And I put it together here really. Both of the vacht is his. So I'm thinking, what do we find over here? In the end, after the Meisim, the whole union of the Korbanos and then the Luyim and the Sherika, Moshe was a Kohen Gadol, and the thing because he got all the Chelkom, he got the Chelk of the Kohen and the stuff over there. He comes and it talks about what do you make Mizbeach Hazov. But before then, there's two things he talks about, which is the Lechem Aponim and the the end of Fakir the Mizbeach. Talking about the two Mizbechos, he's talking about the what do you call it, the Talmud, Korban Talmud, he brings down here, that they have there, and then after that he brings in the union of the Ketores and the Mizbeach HaZohav and the Menorah. And the Menorah we know is Torah. What is the point of the Mizbeach HaZohav? So Shiva said that the point of Mizbeach HaZohav is the keach that the Rebbe is supposed to reach. One was the keach hashboya that he has on his Talmidim. You have it by Yaakov Avinu. What happened when Yosef wanted to do the chet? The Mus Yuknei Shalaviv appeared in front of him, and all of a sudden he couldn't do it. In other words, it's supposed to come, I'm ready to do something connected the Rebbe, and I remind myself the Rebbe said it, but I can't do it. That's the keach that you're supposed to have. Which of the seven senses that you have, the five senses that you have, illustrates this? is the smell, sense of smell. Sense of smell goes at a distance, and it goes bal kocha. It says for a ganze Gemara in Psochim about what do you call it? It's a yef should become a skavin. In other words, he has to go past hearing, smelling of a dissolved keteris, but he has to smell it. Hold your nose. You can't hold your nose that long. You hold your nose, and then somehow you leave it go. Whatever it is, how you can breathe through your mouth, you're right, but I still can't hold my nose that long. And the thing over there, so it's only for a second. So it goes bal kocha. Whether I like it or not, it's going to come into me, and even at a distance, even if I'm not near my Rebbe. That's the point. It's taught in time or distance, it doesn't make a difference. It'll enter me. So that's what the Keteris builds up. When do you light the Keteris? When do you put up the Keteris? Twice a day. And it says over Hektir over Keteris. When Beitivois Haneres, when you clean out the menorah, and also when you light the menorah. Why those two types? So this came to me, and this is a Sefer Shiur they said that time. A Rebbe does two things. He wants to teach you what's right. He also teaches, he's also Sumira. He keeps you away from doing bad. He cleans out the menorah. Now, he can't let you get wrong ideas. He can't let you get, I'm giving you Torah, I have to clean out anything that's left over from old ideas and things that make you mess it up and stuff like that. It's got to be taken out. He has to clean the menorah, and a clean menorah, I got to give you new Torah. That's how it works. So there's two things that a Rebbe has to do with a Talmud. If you do this, you have that kind of relationship with the Talmud, that besides the fact that I'm teaching him what's right, I also can stop him from doing what's wrong. Then it's shaykh to have an influence on him for a big distance and stuff like that. Because otherwise, you're not a Rebbe. So he said it, big deal. I mean, everything like most people do with their Rebbeim, right? Doesn't make a difference. So that's the thing there. So those are the two times that you show what the Rebbe is supposed to accomplish by doing what the Rebbe does. In other words, he does. It means he cleans out the bed, he puts in the new light, and he's supposed to accomplish that it's from a distance and bal kocha. That's basically he's supposed to reach that madrege. The Shaila came out. If you take a look by the maftir is mafsik in these in this concept. It says, "V'hikter all of Aharon hakomitayis sama ba'boike beitivis haneres yakterena." That's before the maftir. When he cleans it out, that's before the maftir. And what's ubehaolis Aharonis haneres? That's the second time, and that one is after the maftir. L'chayri could have started maftir a pasuk earlier, right? V'hikter all of Aharon hakomitayis sama ba'boike, right? Was why are you splitting it in the middle? So I wanted to tie it that actually is the taich of Rosh Hashiva. That's how. What do I mean? That's the taich of Rosh Hashiva. You don't find so much that he definitely gave shmuzim, and he definitely gave what he calls. But his concept of Musa, not Musa, it's a bad word, concept of Teichocha was extremely gentle. In other words, but I'll explain it just that we don't understand it. Sometimes he would say Shtaki Vechta. A guy is Chayiv Misa, such a Misa. We from Hagen, something like that, that the guy should feel, the Chaim Adova. And let's say when he actually did something to the guy that we're talking about that deserves this misa and stuff, and he say to him, no. Right? That somehow didn't threaten the guy's life anyway too hard. Doesn't seem to be too intimidated because of that. And you'd ask him, Rosh Hashiva, didn't you say you have to kill the guy? He says, I just did. I said to him, no. He doesn't there. So it depends on how you take nunu. I mean, nunu can be a killer also. I mean, like, the Rebbe was disapproved of what I did, and so you feel very bad. And stuff like that. Now the guys, who cares? So maybe didn't do nothing to me. Who cares? I'm saying like that. So I'm saying, so obviously, I don't know how much people took the teichocha that they heard, and he gave teichocha, but did they hear the teichocha? That's the question. I'll give you a motion. When I was a kid. Two guys called up from Lakewood. It wasn't a big yeshiva then. So if a guy was there, he was a pretty good guy. Right? He went away, punished the steiging. And the shaila was, they had a bet that whoever's wrong in Pshat can't shave for Shabbos. Okay? And one guy lost. And he's timing that he should be allowed to shave anyway because it's mushba, what he ready, mushba kva. He ready, I think, be mechabit Shabbos, so therefore he had to do this. And so he can't, it's not chal. And that's what he wanted to do. And Rosh Hashiva got very upset. Upset that he wanted to go against his word. That was the thing, though. And he said to him, I remember the verse, I was staying near the phone, it's the landline then. He said to him, and what do you do with Asher Ketircha? Or Moitzis Vasecha Tishma? You said it. How can you not be Mekayim what you said? And then he started giving a bawling out. How do you bet on a mitzvah? How do you have a havmin to bet on a mitzvah? And stuff like that. And he didn't give him a head. He told me, yes, he can't shave.
When he said bet on a mitzvah, he means bet on the Pshat and the Gemara or bet on Kavod Shabbos?
That I don't know. On the Kavod Shabbos, he told him that because there's a chiyuv of Moitzis Vasecha Tishma and stuff, you can't shave. And you can't shave, and then he bawled him out, like, how did you have the chutzpah to bet on a mitzvah? I mean, that you're going to do an avera.
The consequence of the bet.
How do you even have such a havamina? So he gave the guy a good bawling out. Was the guy masig it? I can't even see it, but I'm sure. But that sounded a little starker than normal, than new, and stuff like that. He told him. But again, I'm sure he was not out to chase the guy away. He was not out the guy to think that. So you got to explain to him, that you did a thing, and this is the problem. Okay. So he did it sometimes. I said, I can't say he did all the time. And so I didn't find that much teichocha, if you want to be with him. So I want to tell you, a normal Rebbe needs both in order to be able to establish the fact that you're a Rebbe. To be a Rebbe takes not only to teach you what's right, also to teach you what's wrong. And therefore that's very important. But L'maisi, reaches a point that there are certain people that because they teach so much Torah, that it automatically teaches both, or whatever it is, you can say it automatically teaches both, or the fact that you teach so much Torah that you don't have to teach it as Sumirah so much. And that would be the Rosh Hashiva. And that's where the maftir is in the middle. In other words, it does not really necessary both of them. It could be done only by Hatlokas HaNeirus also. I mean, that logus haneres. That's also you can establish the union of the ketores, only with one of them, and that's why he puts the mafta in the middle, and that's what I'm saying. But there aren't many people that you can say such a thing upon. There has that much Torah out there. What's pshat and that much Torah? They're still printing the Torahs. Some of it is to make the book fatter. That's true. In other words, they take what he says about certain things, and then they point out the places that he mentions things like that, and they make what do you call it? But they still have hundreds, not hundreds, thousands of pages that they haven't even done yet. So there's plenty of stuff that he has out there. Exactly. Will get printed in time. Right now, I think they're up to 10 and 10 or something, 20 and 15. I have no idea. There's an awful lot of Dibberson, and even Igerson, I think, is up to number 10. So I'm saying, you have plenty of stuff out there. Printing and stuff, that's a different story. But the Maisa that he wrote, and he had so much Torah in it that he kept thinking, that he saw. So therefore, that much Torah itself has an effect on people. The pshat is that, you don't start up with it. You don't start up with it. So it has an effect on this. In that prat, I think he's the only one, at least in my lifetime, that I ever saw, normally there's no such thing. You're afraid of him. You wouldn't be afraid of him. I disagree with him. All these are wrong. What's it mean afraid of him? If Moshe said something, that was it. And the thing that was at least for the last 25 years of his life, for sure. And the thing over there. He said something, Moshe said, so that's it. Forget it. Nothing more to talk about. They say, now you think you can talk about it. Now don't think with the stupidity. But the Moshe, at that time, when they had an idea of what the Moshe was, obviously that existed, that nobody, you can't do it. So that was called Inishtim Stafim Menei. And in Yomorah we find it, that the Inishtim Stafim Menei. Rav was Inishtim Stafim Menei, and stuff like that. That was, I don't say Keneged Rav. Rav said it, I don't say it. I don't understand, I can't tell you, I understand every time. About that he said it, I don't argue on it. And it's said, it's called, it's said. And the thing that, so he's saying this is, that list. It just happens to come out, usually Parshas Tetzaveh. This year, obviously, it's going to be more Kisisa than Tetzaveh, because next week is Purim, but it's only like this rarity that it has, that the Parashas Taki Shabbos, they'll come out like that. On Friday, man, the Purim is Friday. And it's going to be a very interesting Purim, obviously. We discovered, and this is Tamazay, that the last time Purim was on a Friday, normally it's a very schwache Purim. Can't horse around too much. You got to get ready for Shabbos. And then you can't do all the Sachen that guys do and all the stuff like that. So, l'chayre, it's a boring poem, right? And things like that. The last time it happened in yeshiva, we had the Sudah, and then the guys, we had a musician. The guys started dancing. And they danced all the way till Shkia, till they had to come up for Mincha, the Dav Mincha, and that they stopped there, and then went right into Kabbalah Shabbos, and then the singing of Kabbalah Shabbos and that and stuff there. It was the most beautiful Purim you can have. And that's what the guys came over afterwards, that this was type of Purim. That was he's thinking normally it's a Wildkeit Purim. And this was a Ruchnistic Purim. So we hope to imitate it again. We hope to see what happens on that. And we'll say mit Hatzlochen, have a good Shabbos, and Afreich and Purim. I guess next week we won't be, at least not on Fridays, so I don't know what will be. But anyway, a good Shabbos and Afreich.